I'm seeing papers where you connected somewhere. Writing?
Yeah.
Right, she's given it to me because she says writing. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I saw
Yes.
she says writing with you. So I
Yeah.
see, but I also see it in typed form. You're writing the schedules and things like that, and what's got to come next and what we've got to do tomorrow and things like that. Would that be right?
Yes. Yes.
And you're a bit like her dictaphone sort of thing, you know? She used to have a bit of a banter with you, didn't she, like that?
Definitely,
This is
yes.
what she's doing now, because she's having
Yeah.
a bit of fun. I don't know whether she stood by looking out the window as she tells you what's what, or vice versa. But we seem to be by the light of the window. We have to move over to the window to write these things down.
Yes, we
Does
would.
that make sense? Because it must have been quite
Definitely.
gloomy in the rest of the building or something. So you spent many boring moments with Diana, she says to me with a smile, because you had to do all the dull stuff together and all the stuff that she had to get out of the way, all the preparation work.
Yes.
Something about sweets. Did we share sweets together?
That's very, very pertinent.
And she said, oh, can I have one of your sweets?
I always had her favourite sweets.
So she's coming from the spirit side saying, give us a pear drop, will you?
Yeah. I always had them for her, yeah.
It's the little things, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you always remember you used to keep the pear drops in her pocket.
But she used to sneak them, yes.
Yeah, so she'd sneak a pear drop off you. And she would only have that when... So that's you and her little secret, right?
Yeah.
And something about somewhere in the Mediterranean, something about Italy. Did she say, off you go to Italy or something for your holiday or something?
Yes, I went to Italy just after I met her on holiday.
Right, so she met you and then you went off to Italy.
Yeah.
The feeling I get is a feeling of that mischievousness that she would have again, because she's done it with all of us here, really. You know, she's had a bit of fun all the time because there's been so much sadness around her death that I think what she's trying to do with this is to show that she's happy, that the same cheery side is still there, that she's still coming, made the connection. We've been seeking down the spirit of Diana, and yet she's coming with a sense of fun and sort of silly little things, really, you know, the pear drops, I can't remember what she said to you, but she said something, I forget it as I talk, but all the little things that connect between you all to show that she's there. But the feeling she gives is of being happy, and I think that if she has any message to give, it's to forget about all these theories about conspiracies and things. It just creates more pain and suffering for everybody. All that is by the by. I think she did have fears about things like being bugged. I think maybe she spoke to you about that. But all that is by the by and nonsense, most of it, I think. And her message, it's a message of love that she wants to bring. And her love goes out particularly to the boys. And if we achieve anything from this, she's hoping that the message goes to the boys to say, Mum's okay. That, I feel, is all she needs really to say. And hopefully we've established enough proof to prove that we are in touch with her to say that. And all the rest, the press must forget it. She's gone, but she's happy and she's well.
Another remarkable séance. I wonder if the people at Craig's séance will be as convinced and enthusiastic as those who sat at Jane's. Let's find out.
It was very interesting, though, and it was very nice to see how everybody else was going, hey, yeah, wow. That was kind of cool that happened, too, because nobody had any idea who was who and what was what, so there was nothing set up, and we knew nothing that was going to happen next. So.
Oh, I found it fascinating.
Certainly the questions that were being put to us, or the comments that were made to us. If your memory was 100%, you could remember every one of those occasions that he spoke about, you know, right down to the nitty-gritty in the kitchens with the children. It all made sense, you know.
And the pear drops were definitely something. I mean, we used to buy them specially and have them in the office so that she could have them whenever she wanted them. And it was always, don't tell anybody, I'm not supposed to have these, you know. So that was fantastic. I actually blew my mind.
There was a contact there on everything he said.
You've heard it from the men and women who were there at the séances. Many psychics have claimed that psychic energy affects many things, including electronic equipment. We thought that we would let you in on some of the strange occurrences that happened while we were taping tonight's program. While we were taping London Seance, the main camera that was covering Jane Hamilton Parker had a strange strobing that we couldn't correct. You can see the effect when you look at the footage here. It returned to normal after the seance. While we were taping Craig's seance, Louise Reed Carr's microphone picked up a strange static that we couldn't fix.
Together.
That's very, very perfect.
And she said, "Oh, can I have one of your sweets?"
I always had her favourite sweet.
The static disappeared after the seance. Then while we were taping Patricia Bankins, the camera began to act strangely. As you can see, the camera suddenly went green. It too returned to normal when she finished. Were these instances just coincidence, or was there some kind of psychic energy at play? We don't have the answer. And as it's our hope you are viewing tonight's seances with an open mind, we'll leave that up to you to decide. Thank you for being with us for this unique experience, and it is our wish that the program has reinforced your affection for Princess Diana. Our interviews were the heartfelt reflections of the people involved. Our psychic mediums and channeler had never met the people in their circle prior to the event, and no pressure was put on them by the producers. Our seances were supervised and witnessed by an academic from a British university who is a specialist in the world of psychic phenomena and seances. All statements following the seances were given freely, and no part of this event, including the psychic mediums and channeler, received any fees other than a small reimbursement to cover expenses. This program is a true and genuine account of part of the life of the remarkable, caring, and compassionate Queen of Hearts. I'm Patrick McNee, and we thank you for watching.